The fires raging through Los Angeles are tragic, but it's hard not to notice the irony when Hollywood, an industry so fond of preaching from its ivory towers, is now burning, both figuratively and literally. Wildfires have claimed at least 11 lives, displaced 153,000 people, and prompted a local health emergency. Smoke and ash blanket the city, with health officials advising residents to stay indoors, while firefighting efforts are hampered by high winds and, incredibly, a drone damaging a plane meant to combat the blaze. Meanwhile, a reservoir that could have mitigated some of the damage was conveniently out of commission when it was most needed. Welcome to the Snake Pit, where we're full of bile and venom. I'm your host, Snake Damon, and today we're looking at Los Angeles' latest catastrophe, a fiery reminder of what happens when priorities are out of sync with reality. For years, many of us have been warning about Hollywood's arrogance, its habit of lecturing the world while ignoring the problems in its own backyard. They told us how to think, how to vote, and what to believe, all the while neglecting basic governance that could have prevented disasters like this. It's hard to feel sympathy for the elites who spent more time pushing DI hiring practices than ensuring their communities had adequate water reserves to face wildfires. When you prioritize optics over substance, the consequences are as predictable as they are devastating. I know, I may seem heartless, but after years of being told to piss off by these very people, my opinions have hardened. These are the same elites who mocked or dismissed anyone outside their bubble while pushing policies and ideas that have clearly failed. They didn't care what we had to say then, so why should we care now? For years they've been content to live in their own echo chamber, ignoring warnings about the real-world consequences of their choices. Is it cynical to wonder if this is all part of a larger narrative? When you're dealing with an industry and an area steeped in manipulation and storytelling, it's not hard to connect the dots. These are the same people who demand attention at every turn. Whether it's Meghan and Harry consoling fire victims, or Kamala Harris's campaign being propped up with Hollywood money and influence. Now, with literal fires burning through their mansions and neighborhoods, they want the world to focus on their plight again. How convenient. Let's not forget the ordinary people caught in the crossfire, those who've lost everything while the elite retreat to safer, untouched corners. The blame for their suffering lies squarely at the feet of those in power who failed to plan for inevitable disasters. Los Angeles is no stranger to wildfires, yet the infrastructure remains woefully inadequate. Instead of addressing these glaring issues, they've been too busy crafting their next Oscar speech or championing the latest social media trend. If history is any indicator, the aftermath will follow a predictable script. Calls for reform will dominate the headlines for a few weeks. A handful of photo ops with politicians and celebrities will make the rounds. Then once the smoke clears, literally and figuratively, it'll be back to business as usual. And if you think this is rock bottom for Los Angeles, don't hold your breath. It's only a matter of time before the next preventable disaster strikes. I'm Snake Damon, and this has been The Snake Pit. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell like the video, and leave your opinions in the comments, where naturally I won't read them. And until next time, stay venomous.